Hello YouTube, this is Pikerize and I am back for another episode of my single player hardcore adventures. Alright, out of food. I am out of food, so let's get some food. Crap. Let's at least cook those. Oh, and it's about to become nighttime too. That is not cool. Oh, this could get rough. Not gonna lie. I should have planted some of those watermelons, I suppose. Alright, let's go back inside here. Let's see. Last time I was mining and telling some stories. I'm able to get those other 5 on there. Alright, so I'm going to go back to digging. Let's make another chest. I'm an idiot. There. Now I can put that in there. I don't have a bow yet. I'm going to take this crafting table with me just to have it. And I'm going to take that much of that with me. So, I don't need that with me. Oh, I'm trying to think of something to talk about. I'm gonna let that cook. Let's see, last episode I was talking about my freshman year of college when I was on spring tour with the Bowling Green State University Men's Chorus and how we were singing at Ground Zero. Oh, another thing to tack onto that. There was actually, we usually would see, it was usually a 14-day tour, 13 to 14-day tour, and in that time we would usually have like 30 performances in 14 days. So, I mean, that was always really crazy. And of course, usually by the end of it, a lot of us would have like no voice at all. If you were sick, we would try to keep people away from you as much as possible, because when you're on a tour bus with like 40 other guys, because we had 2 tour buses, you know, a cold could just wreak havoc. And, you know, these are people are paying us to come and sing at their church or at their school. So, you know, we really needed to, you know, always be professional and always perform. But there was one performance. We were performing at a church in New York City. I can't remember the name of the church, but if I remember correctly, it was the first building in New York City to have electricity. So, I mean, this is a really old church. It was a beautiful church, too. And we actually performed there twice, much later, in my college time, in my time in college. But we were performing there, but it was a local high school music department had paid for us to come in and perform. And it was actually our director's sister's school. She taught in New York City, which, you know, all the power to her, because that seems scary to me. But all right, I'm going to go down and do some mining here. I had White Castle that day, and some of you may have seen my brother Scotty Garbidis' video of him going to White Castle with Gopher Boy one day and how much they were just loving it, and it was so delicious. Yeah, I can't eat that crap. I got food poisoning, and that was the only show I missed on that tour. And I was upset because it was, a great place to perform in. I loved to perform. So, but let's move on now. That tour went great. Everybody got home. We actually did have some people get sent home early because there were no drugs on tour, and some people brought drugs on tour, marijuana, but it's an illegal substance, and we could be in big trouble had that kind of stuff gotten back to the college that we were on tour. We never would have been allowed to tour again. We could have gotten into some big trouble. So yeah. Let's see. The next year, I was still in the chorus come the next fall semester, and that fall, I don't think anything really special happened on that fall. But spring tour, the chorus changed from their normal. Traditionally, it was always New York one year, Florida the next. New York, Florida, New York, Florida. My second year in the chorus, it got changed, and we went to Toronto for spring break. Which some of you might be thinking, why would you want to go to Canada for spring break? It's cold, even in the spring, why not go someplace fun and sunny? And I get that, But for me, I liked that we were changing our traditions. And especially since I had always heard really good things about Toronto. Toronto is always said to be a very diverse town. Like, just so many different cultures within the town or city. So, that spring we went to Toronto, and I gotta flat out tell you, it might be my that year and the year after. Is it the year after? No, I think the year after I wasn't on. It's hard for me to say that was my favorite, but it definitely was better than the previous tour, which was to New York. As much fun as New York was. Let's see, what all did we do? Well, I do remember we went on the way there, we stopped at Niagara Falls. And I'll tell you right there, I'd never been to Niagara Falls prior to that. And it's impressive. It's better on the Canadian side. If anybody has ever told you that the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls is better, they are not lying. It's 100 times better. Let's see. So there's so much. It's been so long. It's hard for me to. And there wasn't anything that really stood out per se, like performing at Ground Zero. But, well, I'll just get to what's really been in my mind. While on tour in Toronto is when I got my first tattoo. Actually, there were 3 of us in one day went to the same tattoo parlor together. 4 of us went. 3 of us got tattoos, and then, yeah, like I said, 3 of us got tattoos. And it's always was something I always wanted. I've always wanted a tattoo, and I got the kanji symbols for power and strength on my arm, which I sort of regret now. Like, I still really like the tattoo, but I think I could have gotten something better for how much money I paid, which was like, I think it was $80 Canadian, which back then was probably $100 American. I can't remember. I mean, it wasn't cheap for what it is, but it was an experience that I really enjoyed. and especially with the guys that I went there with, um, they were, well, okay, one of the guys was trying to get me to get my ears pierced and get plugs put in to expand the hole that the piercing is in, and I never wanted to do that. But they were just a group of guys that, while I got along with them, I probably wouldn't normally hang out with them. At least not when I was growing up. We were just, different kind of peoples. But my brain's going fried now, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, what else did we do? Well, a group of us actually went to a restaurant that some of the guys had been to prior when they were in high school. Apparently their high school choir had done a tour to Toronto, and there was this really nice Italian restaurant. I hate that I can't remember the name of it. All I remember is there was really good beer, and at this time I was still underage in the United States, but in Canada it's drinking age of 19. So I was completely legal and in no threat of, actually I might have been 20, but no threat of, getting arrested basically. Really good beer, really good food, and there was like 14 of us that went. It was just a fun night. And then later that evening, we went back to our hotel room, and across the street was this Irish pub. And they easily made a bunch of money off of our group that night, because we just kept buying drinks. Like, there were probably 75% of the chorus, which my second year was up to 100 people in that bar, including our director, who never drank really. He always really focused on his voice, and he would always remind us, be careful when you drink alcohol. It is an astringent. It'll dry out your vocal cords. You're going to get dehydrated. You're going to have a harder time singing the next day. And he's right. And he was just wanting us to be, the best we could be. But even he was drinking, and it was just a blast. A fun time. I always remember that place, Mickey Finn's, in Toronto. What was really funny is actually the hotel we stayed at wasn't the hotel that we got booked. When the trip was being booked, they were putting us up at a Days Inn, and on the website, the Days Inn said, right downtown, or I think it said minutes from downtown. Well, what they failed to say was exactly how many minutes from downtown Toronto. It was a half-hour drive. You could see Toronto from the hotel. It was not in Toronto. And so our group complained, being like, hey, we got guys here that want to go into Toronto, and we don't have vehicles for them, and making them all pay for cabs is ridiculous. And so we all got transferred to a hotel literally downtown. I think we did have to pay a little bit more money, but it's one of those things that the chorus was just like, no, we're here for Toronto, not for just outside Toronto. So, one more. Okay, that's bedrock. I'm going to go and make myself an iron pickaxe, I think. But that was a fun tour. I don't know, I don't have as many memories about it, I suppose, but let me go up here and see what time of day it is. This might be the end of the video. Basically, if the sun's coming up, it definitely is. Hmm. Nope, it's raining, so the sun's probably not come up. Alright, I'm not exactly sure how long this video has been, so I'm going to go back inside and I want to stop it here, just to be safe. Alright everybody, my name is Pikerize. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. Ask me some questions, and I'll try to answer them. But once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.